Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here with Keller Williams St. Pete's Real Estate. And today I wanted to talk about something that popped up as having a discussion with someone who had recently bought their first house, and just kind of reinforce the difference between a good realtor and a not so good realtor. Well, as I'm sure you can imagine, I consider myself a good realtor. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I am a shark and can negotiate a house down to $5 for you, because if anyone tells you that they can, they're pretty much lying to you. Honestly, the main difference I've found between good realtors and bad realtors is mainly in the communication, and also in explaining all the steps of the process to you. So in this particular instance, it was a person I was speaking with online, and they had just purchased a new house in Old Southeast here in St. Petersburg. And for those of you familiar with the area, you know that it's older home, so with that comes some concerns. But apparently, according to them, the realtor that they were using said, because they were concerned about the plumbing, and their realtor told them that their inspector that they will use is going to find everything that's wrong with the house and to not worry about it, and if they don't mention it, to not worry about it. So, which, I mean, I can understand why a realtor would want to say that to somebody, because you want to set people at ease. But yeah, that is definitely characterizing the process in a much different light than it should be. So inspectors are wonderful, amazing people. They do great jobs. The one that I recommend, Rock Solid Home Inspections, they have always done outstanding work. And honestly, I recommend them for two reasons. One is they are one of the few inspectors that do provide some sort of guarantee for their inspection. Most other inspectors will just be like, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. So number one is they actually, sorry, haven't hit the brakes here. So the first is they actually stand behind their inspections, so they have guarantees, insurances, and other stuff. So if they miss something important, you are covered and do have some sort of recourse. And the second is because they will actually tell you, like the actual extent of the risk, and advise you on next steps to take. So in the case of this person I was talking to, first-time home buyer, so the problem that they ran into was, so they closed 1 month ago, and the initial issue they had was that they were unsure on, there were some repairs that were supposed to be made, and the repair inspection was not completed until like the day of closing, which is crazy. Like, you don't want to get to the closing table, not know if the repairs are done, and then kind of make a judgment call on yay or nay. Do I just want to go ahead with this, or do I want to trust that it's been done? No, you want to. So a realtor does not do the repair reinspection, because that is not our area of expertise. I can't tell you if a joist has been properly replaced or not. So two choices: either the buyer does the inspection themselves and looks at it and says, yep, that repair is good to me, or they hire a professional to come out and look at it and say, yes, that looks good. So that was a closing day thing, which again, poor communication. Their realtor should have explained to them, okay, so we have a repair addendum, these repairs are going to be made, this is about the time we're going to look to check to make sure that these repairs are made. I had a closing last week, we had repair addendums, and that's how we did it. We had milestones to check and make sure that the repairs were going as they should. Second problem they're having is they've been in the house for a month now, and they're starting to have some plumbing problems. Toilets are bubbling, gurgling, and stuff not flushing correctly. Well, come to find out, they have cast iron pipes. And any of you that know anything about old houses know that cast iron pipes can be a very large cause for concern. They have had plumbers out to give them an estimate on replacing the cast iron pipes with PVC, and the estimates they have been getting are in the $10,000 range, which is honestly about in the right ballpark. I'm sure you can get it for cheaper, but that's about the right ballpark. You have to tear up floors, you have to remove fixtures, you have to get under the floor and run new lines, you have to dig new lines out to the street. Very labor-intensive process. So yeah, $10,000. Honestly, that's kind of on the lower end for some of the ones I've heard. Anyway, the problem is whenever they were doing the inspections, their realtor told them that don't worry about anything. The inspector is going to find everything that's wrong with this house. First of all, the inspector is human. They're going to miss things. Not all inspection companies, provide the same level of professionalism. The company that I use and recommend, they usually run it on sort of I like to call it like a sliding inspection. So we start off with a basic home inspection and 4-point wind mitigation inspection. And then if they find additional things for concern, which a iron pipe definitely would be, they recommend you to have a professional come out. They explain the risks of cast iron pipes. If they find evidence of termites, they recommend a full, at that point they'll recommend a full termite inspection. If they find evidence of moisture or mold, they'll recommend a full air quality and mold test as well. In this case, the inspector, for whatever reason, maybe they didn't do a 4-point, I don't know. So a 4-point inspection covers all of the major systems of the house. It covers electrical system, plumbing, HVAC, and the roof. So if they were not advised to get a 4-point inspection, which I tell everyone to get a 4-point inspection unless a very specific reason, basically that if you're doing a full gut rehab and removing the roof, you don't need a 4-point inspection because you're just going to tear it all out anyway. So anyway, the inspector did not advise them on the cast iron pipes. Now they're having cast iron pipes issues, and basically it's going to turn into a very large mess, mainly because the realtor did not communicate properly with them, A, what the role of the inspector is, and B, the actual risks with cast iron pipes. So now, again, I'm getting this secondhand, so I can only do this video based on what they've explained to me. It doesn't logically make sense for why a realtor would want to set a buyer's mind at ease. But really, personally, personally, whenever I'm buying something tremendously expensive, like say a house, I want to know all of the risks and all of the upsides. So, if there's cast iron pipes, I want to know about it, and I want to know what it would take to fix it, and then also what the risks are of allowing it to continue in place. Because that's really the only way you can make a very informed decision. And honestly, for realtors, I believe that's our main job, is to be advisors and to basically just be a home buying or selling consultant, as well as marketer, but mainly just to advise the home buyer or the home seller on exactly all of the little details that go with buying or selling a home. Like, that is literally what we get paid to do. So anyway, I just want to share that with y'all today. What the main differences are between a good and a bad realtor. If you have any questions or comments, if you have your own horror stories, please leave them in the comments. It's always interesting. I can't say that I enjoy reading them, because honestly, it upsets me, some of the stuff that some of the homeowners have to go through after they purchase a house. But I always like to learn, because it helps me to become a better realtor as well. So anyway, I'll talk to you all later.